Hello everyone, I have made it up here to my Silver Heritage Family's church. This is the mountains of North Carolina behind me. The homestead is down there, and the graves of Charlie Silver and the people you'll hear about in the stories that I will be telling you in the future are buried here. And I just wanted to let y'all be able to see this with me and make it for the channel, and I'm hoping you'll stick right there, stick with me, and we'll see all of this together. All right, here is the church right here. And I'm going to walk on up. The Silver Family Church from way back. And you can see the outhouse over here that they used. And this is a wonderful family church that's years and years. I mean, when she murdered Charlie, when his wife murdered him, that was like 1920 or I know it's 1823, I think, December. I'll have to look it up and I'll put it up here for you, but you can see this wonderful old steeple and wonderful old church. And as we go up here, if the trees haven't grown up, I'll go up these stairs, the steps, and you can see the old. It's locked, and I think you can see the house. That's a barn. Well, you'll probably be able to see the house. The homestead is down in there, so we will see that in a little bit. But we're going to go around here to the grave site. The family's already went. We got some kin to my dad's side is kin to the Stewarts, the murderer. And my mom's side is kin to the victim. So, and you can see this little outhouse. You see this little outhouse that they had? Isn't that the cutest thing? They've even preserved that. It's got a lock on it so nobody can use it. So we go up this little knoll here, and if you remember watching, if you haven't seen it, you may want to stop here and then go look at my Silver Family Heritage video, and you can see a lot of silvers here, okay, in the graves. And you can see how old some of these are. They're just so old. But Frankie Silver, Frances Silver, 19, murdered her husband with an axe and tried to hide his body by burning it. And I've got the whole story on another video. I will link it at the end so you can click on it. You can see these are so old that the names aren't even on. I mean, it's all wore off. And we will see. Here's a Silver. Edie Silver's child, born May 18th, 1860. 1860. So, how old are those? And who are they? Wow. This is a very old cemetery. And see, they had gotten pensioned from being, this was July 17, 1917. And see, here's another one. He had, Charlie's daddy was the son of Hans Georg Silver, And they both served George Washington as private bodyguard, personal bodyguards, because I'm watching for ants. But because 1893, Sarah E. Silver, a tender mother and a faithful friend. And there's a crown up here. They were Baptists.
They found where the guy was popped up.
Okay. Okay. Now he inherited the pension that they gave him because they served General George Washington because they could read German, because they were German Jews that come from Baden-Baden over there in Germany. And he served the Confederate States of America. The Silver without an S. Their name originally was Silber, S-I-L-B-R, which is the German Jewish word for silver. And they were very instrumental on being able to decipher they were able to decipher the German code from being able to read German, because the British was using the Germans' language to code. Well, there's another Confederate, David Silver. Now, Rachel Adina Silver, born the 29th, 1884, died February 20. Is that the 23rd or 28th? 1899. Age 11 years, 6 months, 2 days. How sad. Someone's left her some flowers. Very old, isn't it, hon? This is my grandbaby. Y'all have seen her. Say hello, everybody.
Hello. This is my bear.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it sad?
Hi.
11-year-old little girl.
Uh-huh.
And then we've got Elizabeth Silver, May 10th, 1878, May 26, 1948. But they inherited all this land here in Kona. All this is Kona. All of it. They inherited that from the pension. There's Isaac. And see, you can't, those are so old that the names and everything has been eroded away. You don't even know who they are now.
Why?
Because it's so old. Over all the years. And you can see.
But how are these names?
See how this is going away? That's Nancy Silver. I don't know if that's the Nancy from Charles and Frankie, but their little girl was a Silver. I mean a Nancy. I'm sorry. Here's Reverend Jacob Silver. 1791 to 1885. I think this is the daddy of Charlie. 1885 here for this one. And then we have another one that is so old you can't tell who it is. Then you have more modern silvers. Silver. Now the S is actually incorrect because this family was on the Confederate side. The Silver family over on, I think it's a few miles down the road would put an S on their name. Now the matriarch here would not allow that. He would be so mad because they were Southerners, Confederate, and these liked the North, so they added an S to be distinguished away from there. Now here's George Silver, born 1760, died July 8th, 1835, age 75 years. He was enlisted in the Revolutionary War under Washington, served until fulfilling until its last. And that's the matriarch right there that built the family cabin here. And here's Nancy Ann Griffith, wife of George Silver. 1766, 1849, they've put a new stone out for her. And then we've got more and more. They carve them. You can see. I'm hoping I'm getting it for you. You can just see how many old stones there is. You don't know who it is. And someone has wrote on this one who this is, but I can't read it. It's can't really read it, can you? They've got a, I don't know what that is. I wished I could read it, don't you?
Yeah, Granddad would read that.
You think so?
He knows what it says.
Alessandro Rubachi. That's 2 G's. Am I pointing it right there to it? Okay. Don't put your hand, don't
What
do
did
that.
he do?
You can accidentally knock them over if you're not careful. Now, here we find where Charlie Silvers is buried. He's buried in this,
There's
right
three
here,
parts of his body.
right here, and right here. They found parts of him on 3 different days and had to have a funeral 3 different days. And this is the footstones.
Foot?
Yeah,
Where his feet was?
you can back up, you're standing on him. There, look at him move. We're standing on him, move. So it was 1812 and it was December 23, 1812. And so by this you can see that it's eroded away. The 1812s and earlier have, oh no, you better. Did you notice you couldn't see it? My mom lost one of her, see? She's lost one of her things out of her glasses. Can you see? Was you like, I can't see out of one eye.
I won't be able to see going home.
Well, I'm glad you're not driving.
Yep.
Anyways, but you can see that the ones that they marked his 3 graves has worn off over time, eroded away.
This is the date that it happened.
Yeah, the 22nd.
This is my birthday.
And
October the 3rd is my birthday.
he was born on your birthday. Oh, that's neat. You had never realized that, had you?
No, I had not.
The gnats are bad, ain't they?
Yes, they are.
They're really bad. So they're back there. That is the Stewart family over there. The Stewart family.
Oh yeah, they are related.
That's my dad, his sister, and my cousin, and my little grandboy. So yeah, and you can see it's just so beautiful here with the little church. They have the prettiest spot for their graves, I'm telling you. Isn't it? Isn't this nice?
It is. Very nice.
I would like to be buried here, but I probably couldn't. I don't think they're allowing anymore to be buried here. The last ones was 1996, I think. Unless there's some more back here.
I think there's some newer ones back there. What? It's just
Honey,
parts of his back.
They found his head at one point. And then they found his innards, his guts. And then the other one, they called it his lights. I don't know what that means, but that might be his head too. But they found other pieces of him, probably stuff from the fireplace that didn't burn. And they put that stuff in there.
I thought so much.
That stuff, what was remaining in there. And when they put those little stones at the end of it, that lets everybody know that's the end of that grave. Because some people don't, they're superstitious and they think it's awful to walk on top of somebody's grave. They think it's all kinds of crazy things. Okay?
Did you get the original George that settled and built the cabin? The
Yes.
monument right there?
Yes, the one in the middle. That's the son of the one that come over
Right.
on the
What is that
speedwell.
book for?
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
What is that
He
book
fought
for?
in the Revolutionary War and the War of 1812. And I think the pension may be from the 18 and 12.
Well, it was
think.
his pension from serving under Washington.
Was it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because
What is-
both of them served. One was getting up in age and he got sick, and so his son, this one,
Went in.
went in and took his place because he could read the German too, because they're from Baden-Baden, Germany, and that is a big Jewish settlement over there. The silver name is a German Jew word for silver. They worked in silver, and this makes sense because they were on Schindler's List because Schindler needed people that worked in metal. Had they
Right.
stayed over there with their family and not come over here, they would have ended up in Krakow and took to Auschwitz, Birkenau, and all those places.
Right.
So, yeah. So these are more modern. This is the more modern. And you notice a lot of them are all silver because this family was the ones that did not do the S because they were Confederate. While they loved their country, they fought for their country in the Revolutionary War and the World War. Oscar Lee Thomas, Anna Mae Silver Thomas. I'm having to fix something. I'm sorry. World War II. We have some World War I vets in here, and we'll learn more about them when I get into the book and the stories. Hope I'm not making y'all drunk. But yeah, gonna come on up here. Cora Evelyn Silver, and that's the wife. Is this his second wife or the first wife?
Oh, this was his first wife.
His first wife,
Yeah.
right? 1849. Now
No, this was the second one.
second wife. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she lived past the time.
Yeah. Oh, these gnats are awful. They try to
Yeah.
get in your
So
eye.
this is the matriarch.
Oh, look, a hand with the
Look.
gun.
A hand with a gun. Can you see that?
Are you gonna go inside the truck? What is it?
Someone's come out
Me too.
and put flowers on their graves. Isn't that sweet? And on Charlie, I think Charlie had them. Let's see.
Because her last name is Griffith.
Well, the date is after the murder,
Is it? Oh, yeah.
I
Right.
think.
Well, wonder where the first
Let
one
me make
is.
sure. Let's make sure. We'll just walk all over the place. 1831. This is 1831. So she had already died, and he had already had brothers from the second mother.
Wonder where they buried her, the first mother.
I don't know. Maybe she's in one of these unmarked ones.
Probably.
That's a new stone. And if you notice the Charlie ones, they had to put a newer stone there because of his had withered away.
Right.
So she may be one of these. She may be over there.
Yeah.
You know, one
Why
of these
is-
that's not marked.
Why is some of them so tiny?
No longer marked. Or this one. This could be it. That one right there.
Yeah.
But you'll never know. This could be it over here.
You can't, if it was marked.
It's got marks. I mean, you can
Oh, here it
read
is.
on it. In memory of. Let's see.
If I had a paper and a pencil, I could rub it and tell what it says.
Yeah. I can't read it.
No.
Let's
Can't
see if
read
I
it.
zoom in. Maybe you can. Oh, you get your head in the way. Not you, him. As soon as I said I'm going to zoom it, he leaned forward.
It's got that lichen on it too.
Yeah, the lichen, which is an antibiotic. It's actually, yeah. So this is Nancy Silver. But there's two Nancys in here, I think. But one of them,
I don't know if
and
that
that's
would be the,
there's Reverend Jacob Silver.
And what's the dates on
This
that?
is the tiniest grave ever.
And see, there's
That
Millard.
might be a baby's grave.
That's 18.
This one's 1887. 1887, 1791 to 1887, I think. Reverend Jacob Silver. That might have been the
The son of one of the sons.
he was born in 1791. He's born in 1760.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Are you going in the trailer?
Yeah, there comes the Stewarts.
No, it's not.
that's run.
It's the Smiths, but they are cousins of the
I
Stewarts.
would be Robinson, Gooch, Smith, what else?
Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
Well,
You're lucky you didn't get named after one of your cousins.
That's the truth. Look,
this is my dad, Jim Smith. He grew up being babysat by the Stewart teenage girls
I
over
remember
there.
him well.
And they had a weird, they were always told to have a weird jealousy and just really strange way about them.
I don't know about that. I was such a young kid. I was a kid that rolled around on the floor.
So you don't remember nothing about them?
I remember him, yeah.
Okay. But the other
My memory was good then, not like
but
now.
you know, your family passed that information on to older siblings and things.
did you know that your granddaddy Flink used to do these?
Oh, really? He used to
He
make
would-
more.
Him and Mama's daddy, he told me, would chisel the words out in the tombstone.
Yeah. Now this is Carol.
This would have been in the
This
early
is this.
30s.
Wait, let me do this. Youngins, this is.
We're nothing alike.
We
Don't
are
believe
twins.
her, nothing alike.
I have every ailment this woman has ever had,
Yeah, and then some probably.
and then every ailment Mama's family's had.
There you go. That's what it's supposed to be. We share.
This is my auntie Carol, the one that you know is now watching the channel and
That's right.
commenting, and your user or some number or
It's
another.
some weird something. I don't know how to change that. You're going to have to help me.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to help her.
Come up
But
with something.
she's one you had said you had asked me something.
You were talking about my dog.
No, well, not that one. There was something you asked me, and I said I would
Oh.
have to pick your brain.
About putting all the stones together.
Oh yeah,
Do
yeah,
you
yeah.
mix them when you get through with the ones you've already got saved from a different one?
Oh,
That's
just
what
put
it
them all in a jar when you're done.
Well, yeah, but I have containers, for them, storage, but I need to.
I keep them
because
separate. I keep them separate, but I store them in stuff
but
that I can mark the
It'll
numbers.
be the same number, but they'll be different colors.
Well,
Just a shade off, but it maybe just me
some
it
diamond
bothers.
paintings I'll show you have the colored numbers on there.
Yeah.
And the ones that you can get that number, you can
The
make
better
them.
quality are the prettier ones, I've noticed
Yeah.
already. And
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
only
yeah.
done 6.
So yeah, look at this me, my aunt, me, and then my grandbaby.
Here's Scarlett.
All of us. We just love y'all and thank y'all for tuning in.
You never get the
And
same picture
we're
twice,
gonna go
did you?
down here to where the cabin is. You can't. Let's see. I don't think you can.
Go around this horseshoe curve.
There's the top of the cabin right there.
Kiss your tail lights as you go around.
Yeah, you kiss your tail lights when you go around. That's the original home cabin of George Silver, and you can see the roof from here. That was the original family log cabin that this man over here built for his family, and his son Charlie is the one that got murdered. But Dad, He's asking me
Charlotte,
if I'm about done.
somebody's grave. Why don't we
And my viewers are like, nah,
somebody maybe
she's not done yet. We just started watching. Okay, so we're going to run down here and we're going to try to get you some film of the old home place. So stick there. We'll be right back. Okay, she made out a great point.
Of course.
It's up here in these tall mountains of western North Carolina.
Well, you can see if you look around, it just the architecture of the mountains that God's made here. How tall, how high up we are.
Yes. I mean, we come up 2 mountains, really.
Oh yes, you did.
And we still have mountains above us. And then there's one taller than
I
that one
think it was 3.
over there called Mount Mitchell. And we'll learn about Mount Mitchell later. But what I want you to tell them is what you found ironic about it being.
Okay. She killed him on December 22nd. Okay. Up here, it might be 15 degrees on a good day. And if it's snowing or icy storms and stuff that happens here when it doesn't snow anywhere else, I cannot imagine coming up here and having to dig that grave and try to get him buried. And 3 different graves. So it wasn't just one they had to dig. I know it was small amounts, but still, they still had to go down and they had to put that respectable distance down. But I can't imagine having to dig this dirt on December 22nd, 23rd.
It would be froze.
Exactly, 24th, probably Christmas Eve, I would say, when they actually found him and figured out.
And the family,
So-
and the family is what digs the graves. Is the
Right.
the family, the
Oh yeah,
immediate
that was
family.
your respect for your family. You wanted to do it.
Yeah,
for
they
them.
didn't have people to come in and dig it for them. They didn't have the machinery. My husband, bless his heart, actually went up with the boys of the family and helped dig the grave for
Yes.
my nanny, my mama's mother,
And
who is
Charlie,
related.
my husband,
Yeah.
did that for his grandfather.
And see, that was so different for me because down where we are at, that's
So you have a company to come in,
The-
or
yeah.
the funeral home does it. They
Yeah.
contract. We have a man in our church that actually goes and does that for people.
Yeah.
So, and they'll contract to do them.
Yeah.
But no, back
Don't
then
you just love
did-
her? It's like you get 2 doses of me.
Oh, and then that bad. I'm so sorry.
Dad says that the world can't handle us both.
Not together. It's because we don't live real close together. It'd be bad.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna try.
I hope there ain't nobody in there thinking y'all burglars.
It's locked.
Look at, who is it?
Arrest them people out yonder.
Did you see Jimmy's face?
I don't know if you can see because we have a glare.
Somebody call 911.
See if you can see in there. There's a fan. And you can see, maybe go on the other side, it wouldn't be so bad. I don't know. But you can see
Look at this
the
old piano here
the
in
wood
corner,
stove.
which is probably 100 years old, honestly.
and the pews. You can see those in the pulpit. Let's see if I
Yeah,
can
look at
go
that
over
old
here.
stove, Julie. We used to have one of those at Mount Zion there.
Can you see? I hope you can see. Let's see if I can. There we go. That's an old piano.
I want to see.
Wait, baby.
Yeah.
We'll lift you up.
Oh, there it is.
Lara, do they still have services up here at all?
They used to, and they may have from what I remember, I think they may have like a reunion type thing or service like that. Yeah,
Oh yes, they keep it
very,
clean.
very
the
clean.
The family's very respectful of the family.
And when you go downstairs in here, they have a huge, in the basement, a huge memorial of all the information on that whole Frankie and Charlie.
I bet you weren't
murder.
sure they opened this place for that.
Well, see, I tried to get,
Anniversary.
yeah, I tried to get in touch with someone that would take us in. My aunt, my mom's sister said that the man that run this, I think, had died. Forgive me if I've heard wrong, but I wasn't able to get a response. So, yeah, it's higher on that side. So we were trying to get a little bit more of a view. My cousin doesn't want to be filmed, but Julie would do it if I said please, wouldn't you? Maybe? We're just a bunch of nuts.
in those times, 1830s, 34, somewhere through there, there was not a whole lot of people that lived in one area except just really close family.
Yeah.
You're talking about immediate family, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, or grandparents and whatnot.
Yeah.
So here she is in the middle of
Families that
family
been
that's not
established.
her family, not her family.
Well, they lived here too in Como, but they moved in
but-
after.
Think about that. She's right here, dropped in the middle of all of his family. But think about being in a cabin, a one-room cabin, in a place where it snows 5 months of the year sometimes,
Yeah,
but it's cold.
yeah.
It's cold, cold, cold. And I mean, sometimes it might reach way below zero, you know,
Yeah.
and that's not uncommon for up here. So think about staying in that cabin with the baby.
Yeah.
How old was Sarah?
And they were. She was only a little over a year old.
Yeah, she
13
was small.
months, I think.
So she's in a cabin. It's so cold you can't leave, and
Well,
I
they
can
have their
imagine it's
chores.
stir crazy.
Well, it's Christmas week, and on
Exactly.
Christmas week back then, let me turn me around. Christmas week back then was also when they would do all the week's chores
Get
a week
ready.
a week ahead. And see, that was what was so crazy about why, I mean, people saying that he was abusive. He had spent the whole day. Now she knew that this is what they do every
He
Christmas.
was going to go hunting, and
He had a hunting trip planned, but he wanted to take care of her.
but they had to have that meat, or they wouldn't eat.
Yeah. Well, he had to make sure that she had enough wood while he was gone, and he chopped a whole tree.
Yeah.
And stacked it on the porch right beside the
She could
door,
get to it readily.
so she could get to it really easy. So if he was an abusive husband, I don't think he would have done that. And I don't think her having brothers, he would have got away with being abusive to her. Because back then, the men
Took
was-
out behind the building and had a word of prayer with you.
protected their sisters.
That's what they called it.
He
Let's go have a word of
knows.
prayer with
He
them.
knows what it's like to have some sisters in the mountains and to protect and feel like he's the brother and he needs to protect
Especially
them.
his favorite.
Yeah.
But they needed me for brains.
He's
All
so
right
crazy.
now.
Crazy.
Skipped all the sisters and gave you some.
Let me
Yeah.
say this. Let me
Okay.
say this.
Okay.
Out west, when people used to go out there and build a cabin and start a homestead, there wouldn't be nobody around for miles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it caused a murder or a suicide, and they called it going cabin fever.
Cabin fever. Yes.
Cabin fever, it just absolutely went out of your mind because it was so quiet and such.
That's what I was
everything.
trying to say a while ago.
And who knows? Only God knows
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly
all
what
the
happened.
details of anything.
Well, we
Sad
do know.
anyway.
We do know for a fact from my mama's papa, grandfather would come down. Was it your great grandfather? Great grandfather, who was his half brother, Charlie's half brother. He was a teenager during that time when they did the investigation and all that. He lived through that.
Yeah.
He knew what they were
So all the
arguing
evidence
about,
came out,
and the
yeah.
arguments were over going west. She wanted to go west because her family had come after Kona was established with this family. They were not well off with the law.
Right.
They were not as respected, so they wanted to move where other family members had went on out west. He did not want to leave. He wanted to stay here where his family
Right, 'cause
had
his
earned this from work from
Well, that was their birthright, too.
the
to do that.
Revolutionary War. They got this from being George Washington's
Beautiful up
here. This happened.
bodyguards.
This
Different from
So they
South
died. He
Carolina.
didn't want to leave his family.
this happened before the Civil War.
Nanny.
Now, her family is getting men coming in from out west and saying you can pick up gold right out of the grass.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Well,
See,
they're hearing all of this stuff, and you don't
Aren't
get
you
rich
going
in
your
the mountains.
sisters?
no.
You-
Oh no, it's a hard
you
life.
Taking your
survive.
dogs.
These people up here are really, really, really tough. To live up here, you had to be tough. You had bear. You had mountain lions. You had bobcats that get on the house and could smell where you're cooking bacon. and it would come up the chimney, and they would smell that, the stovepipe.
You had to keep a fire all the time, or they would come down there.
Yeah. He said that, I don't know if you heard him, but he said that the Bobcats would try to come down the stovepipe, the wood stovepipe, to the cooking bacon if there wasn't the smell of bacon. If there wasn't a fire in there, you had to keep a fire in there.
Well, my grandfather, Pap, was bad. My grandmother died with measles,
Yeah.
a backset, and Grandpapa was out courting a lot. We left the kids there in the cabin, and they said they told me that Uncle Will and them said that Bobcats would just walk around the house squalling.
Yeah, you
I've
could hear
had
them.
that to happen in my window.
Yeah.
But
And they
anyway,
sound like babies that are screaming for help,
So that's-
or a woman screaming for help.
So he was gone a lot of the time, and that made it
Yeah.
pretty vulnerable.
Okay. Now, Mom, you said, Julie's like, I'm getting out of there. You said that if we go on down this road to the right, just a little ways,
Down the next curve.
is it close enough you can walk and look at the chimney, or
I'm not sure how far from the road it is.
the cabin that she did the
Where
deed?
the cabin was, the fireplace is still there.
The fireplace chimney is still standing. That
Well, you
she
could go
burned
down
him
a
in.
little bit and then come back. If you could see it, I don't
Well,
know.
we'll see if
Probably
we can,
far off the road, isn't
and we can always turn around and you know.
Seems like I went up there once.
I went back with Betty.
Okay, we're going to the log cabin. Just 1 second, we'll get there. So we have arrived at the historical home, and it was made in the 1700s. You can see this old chimney, original chimney. You can see how pretty it is, and old and still standing. I think it was for sale at one time, and that was sad because it's been in the family all this time. I felt a little raindrop. You can see how nice. It had green around the windows where they had painted it. And that old original glass in the windows. You can see deer tracks. You can see no trespassing. Uh-oh. I just wanted to get a picture really quickly for y'all to see it. And I'm not supposed to be trespassing, so we're going to do this quickly and go. But this is the Silver home place. The original one that the Silvers built. George Silver up there in the grave. The little chicken house. That's new, you can tell it's new. But you can see how nice it is. I mean, it was well crafted, great crafty work. They've kept it all these years. Yeah. So yeah, they've kept it all these years, and I can't go any further down here because there's a little bit of a drop off here. So I don't want to get too close because then you can't see. But it's a very big cabin compared to what usually you would see here, because he had a big family. His first wife died, they had one child, and then they had several more with his second wife. And, you know, yeah. But you can see the real glass in there. That's the original glass. I had it zoomed in. No wonder. It's so nice. It's so nice that it's lasted from the 1700s. I mean, and they have the dovetail where they've notched the logs up in there. Oh, there it is. There's my finger. And that's the original fireplaces on both ends. I mean, I don't know if we it's the drop off right here, so it's going to be hard to get the front picture of the front. You'd have to go out that way. But yeah, it's. I'm not going to go up on the porch or anything like that.
Private property.
Yeah, I know. I don't.
This house would have been so protected. See where it is with the mountain there?
Yep. Yep. They were at,
No, still got you.
and the church is right there where we were.
Right
Up there. Isn't this nice in the original glass? I know I keep saying that, but the original glass is in those.
the
windows.
white glass.
These look like they've been replaced. Somebody's
Well, that
probably
was built probably in the 30s,
added on
because that's what Daddy built our house. It was just these
that type of
planes.
place. Yeah, the upright.
That's probably it.
Oh, 1700. It's 1700s. Yeah,
Probably
yeah, it's 17. Yeah, they.
They've done it very nicely, but that chimney right there is pulling what they built, so I'm not standing on.
Yeah, we're gonna go on up because the chimney looks like it's a little bit teetery, you know. We wouldn't want it to hurt anything. Yeah. So we'll walk on up this. Just think this is amazing and wonderful to be able to come and see actual family house. They have 3 chimneys. This is the new section, which, you know, 30s. But to see your family where they originated first off in America and had a part of building this country, War 17, or did she say 1812? And then Revolutionary, and then Civil War, and then we had the World War I and World War II, and I think some went down to the Mexican War as well. So, yep. You can tell the altitude is a little different for me. And that must have been where they had the bell. Had a bell on there. And so you can see the chimneys is really, it is. Look at that. Let me try to zoom in. You could really see that pulling away from the house. Yeah. It's gonna fall. Yeah.
And there was one, now look how many chimneys they got there.
I know, this is that newer one.
Had to have a fireplace.
Yeah.
That probably was the kitchen.
Yep.
I bet they built the kitchen on there in the front.
Yep. Let me look at this chimney. See how well this chimney is. Try not to disturb any neighbors or anything. Let's see if we can get it. Yep. It's really nice. I can't tell. Yeah, it's pulling through too. You can see it right there. Right in there. Let's see. Between the roof line, you can see it's kind of pulling away. That'll be a shame because this stuff has lasted all these years and everything. So I hope you enjoyed this. It was a really quick visit, and we have some other places to have to go and can't stay too long doing this. So, but I wanted to do this for y'all. I wanted y'all to see it, and I want to defend Charlie's life because there's way too many people out there trying to get his killer off of trying to get her acquitted for the murder, and it's not right. It's not right. It's not respectful to the people that lost a son, lost a family member in one of the most horriblest ways possible, and just total disregard for the law, total disregard for a body, I mean, it was just heinous, non-caring for them to do that. And they're trying to think that she would do this out of, when you're in self-defense, you don't cut someone up and burn them. You don't do that. You run and get sheriff if you've accidentally hurt somebody. Yeah, so. You're through. You're through. Yep.
You're on.
We are done pursuing
The Silvers.
the defense of Charlie because they're trying to get her off. Did you know that?
No, I did not know
They are
that.
trying. There's people that have been pushing for years now to get her acquitted off
Why?
because they tried.
gone.
There was a newspaper article. You know, back then they had to sell newspapers.
She gone.
Trying to get her acquitted because of the fact that somebody wrote a newspaper article 100 years after it happened that she was an abused wife, that it was a womanizing society up here, that was normal. Now I read where one man even said it was normal for the men to kill their wives up here and get off for it. Really? She's the first woman to ever be hung, it's believed, in North Carolina. So if it was a womanizing society, don't you think they'd have hung more women?
You would think.
So
You would think.
we are going to fight for Charlie. We are on Charlie's side.
Team Charlie.
Team Charlie. Team Charlie. Team Charlie. But I'm so glad to spend this time with the Stewart.
Me too.
She's got some Stewart cousins.
Wait.
So the Silver and the Stewart do still get together.
That's right. That's right. We can still.
The ones that are sane.
Compatible.
The ones that are sane.
That's right.
You know, that wouldn't do something like that. Anyways, I will let you go, and everybody remember, Jesus loves you.
That's right.
He's my Savior.
That's right.
He's your Savior,
That's
right?
Mm-hmm.
We love Him with all our heart,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
we'll fight for Him too.
First and foremost.
That's right. So y'all be good. Until the next time, bye.